I'm sure the entire world knows the name Bobby Fischer by now. He is, as proved, the best chess player in the entire world. And, you know, you read a lot of articles about Bobby saying he's kind of temperamental and demanding. And he's not. I met him this afternoon at the place he designated on top of the Y. In the sign Hollywood that's up in the Hollywood Hills. We met on top of that Y in Hollywood. But I met him briefly. He seems like a charming young man. And would you welcome, please, Bobby Fischer. It is so nice to have you on this show.
Thank you, Johnny.
I saw you on Bob Hope's show that you did with Mark Spitz one night, and you were great on that show. You did a sketch with Bob, and you did your lines like you'd been doing sketches all your life. Did you find it easy or difficult to do that?
People say, well, I don't know, I was a little worried about it. I didn't even watch it on TV.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't you like to watch something that you do?
Unless I'm sure it's good, I don't like to watch it.
You were very good in that. Now, look, you defeated Boris Spasskим now, and you're the champion chess player in the entire world. Now, what is there beyond that? How do you top that? Is it now the trick is to not the trick, the idea is to maintain the championship?
Yeah, this is the big problem, how do I top it? But I figure if I can keep the title for another 30 years, something like that.
Just 30 years or so, huh? Was it a letdown after it was all over, Bobby? I mean, it was, well, there must have been a tremendous...
It was. I woke up the day after the thing was over, and I just felt different, like something had been taken out of me.
Yeah, it was exciting to get the reports over here. I think you said in an article you never thought you'd see the day where, I think it was attributed to you, see where chess would be on the front page of the New York Times. Do you ever envision that? Because chess is not the type of game that I guess a lot of people, like football or something, they find it difficult.
Yeah, well, in this country, I mean, around the world, I've played in a lot of tournaments, and it's been front page news for years, but...
Why do you think over here that the people in this country now, it's very big in Russia, as you say, and very big in all your European countries, and the people are national heroes, and just now that's becoming to happen over here?
Well, I just think that people have to be educated to enjoy chess, whereas you can enjoy, I don't know, football or baseball without really understanding. It's just kind of beautiful to watch the people move around, but chess, you really have to have some basic understanding of what the game is all about to enjoy it.
How old were you when you first became interested in chess, and who got your interest going?
I was 6. My sister taught me.
6 years old?
Yeah.
6 years old are obviously then capable of learning chess. Most people think that chess is a very, requires a great intellect. I think this turns a lot of people off. They say, oh, I can't do that mathematically. I can't think that many moves ahead.
Not to play.
Really?
I mean, anybody can learn. I think, let's see, Spassky learned at 5. Reshevsky, who was the champion in this country before me, he learned at 2 or 3. He was giving exhibitions at the age of 6 or 7.
Good heavens.
Playing about 20 guys at once when I was 6.
But
you did the age of 6 when I learned.
You did that when you were in your teens, did you not? Early teens,
yeah.
Where you played against 15 or 20 opponents. What is the greatest, and I don't want to use the word trick, what's the greatest ability one should have to play chess? If it's not an intellect, I mean, I don't know how to play the game.
Well, it's some kind of spatial perception. You see in your mind's eye that when you make this move, I mean, if you made this move, it'll be there, and he makes this move, it'll be there. You just sort of see the position as it could be in a few moves.
How far are you able to, say, plan ahead depending on what your opponent may or may not do? Or do you also analyze that when you make a move that he'll do this, then if I do that, he'll do this, and then you go over the next set of moves?
It all depends. I mean, I think Capablanca once said he only sees one move ahead, the best move.
The best move?
But it depends on the position. Sometimes, if it's a simple position where just one line, and he has to make every move just the way you want him to, you can see 20 moves ahead.
Right.
But supposing you make a move and he has 3 or 4 replies, and then you have to analyze all those replies. Then you have several replies to those replies. So you might only be able to see 2 moves ahead, or 3 moves ahead.
I know over here occasionally certain grandmasters would analyze the play as it was phoned in from Iceland, and then when somebody seemed to make a mistake, when you would make a move that later on did not prove to be the right one, was that usually done in just a moment of loss of concentration, and then looking back and analyzing it, you'd say, why did I make that particular move?
Well, let's see, I only lost 2 real games, right?
Right.
So I didn't make too many moves that I regretted, but...
No, you sure didn't. I'll give you that.
Well, that's part of being a pro, you know. You try to play the wrong move in your mind.
Right.
And get rid of it, then play the right move. That's the idea. Not to really play the wrong move, to play it in your head.
Let's talk about the term now that's become very popular, the psyching out of one's opponent when you play. Now, the papers over here kind of got on you for a while, and the people over in Iceland were kind of giving you a little flack because they said, well, you came to play, and then you wouldn't allow any movie cameras and so forth and so on. Now, is that something that you consciously think might upset somebody, or is it something the way you feel when you get ready to play? You want everything to be right, or what?
Well, I want everything to be right. I didn't try to psych Spassky. You know, there's no need to. I'm the best player, and he knew it. Everybody knew.
See, that would psych me right there. I'd say, good, you win, Bob. I mean,
he told me himself. I mean, he told me, but I heard it through mutual friends, mutual enemies, or whatever. That he appreciates me because I get the best conditions, and because I fight for all the things. He just has to sit back, and he knows that the best lighting and the best chess set and the best everything will be there.
Yeah.
And he also says that he owes his apartment in Moscow to me because of all the publicity.
Is that right?
Yeah. I had to give him a better apartment because he's a star, international star.
So he came off pretty well, too, huh? Yeah. There weren't many people I read in the paper to greet Mr. Spasski when he got back to the Soviet Union. I guess they don't like somebody to lose there very well. Did you read that at all?
Yeah, well, this is, I think, more for us. Rather, they're kind of making him a whipping boy, showing the world that it wasn't the communist system that lost, that it was Boris Spassky. He didn't prepare or whatever for the match as he should have.
Right.
But I think they're going to rehabilitate him again and build him up again so that, you know, because he's the best they've got, so he can play me or somebody else again.
How long now? Now, do you, like a fighter, I think a heavyweight fighter must fight at least once a year or maybe less than that to retain his championship. Now, how is it with chess players? Are you...
Well, I'm in a good position. You see, I don't have to play every 3 years for my title. I don't have to play for 3 years, and the reason it's that way is because the Russians had the title, and when they had it, they didn't want to play that often, so they got the system set up. They only had to play every 3 years, never expecting to lose it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So what do you plan to do now? Do you plan to
I
meet
may,
any takers?
I'd like to play, though. I don't think, 3 years, what am I going to do for 3 years? I can't do talk shows just for 3 years.
No, it's... How do you keep in training? Now, do you have to keep in training, Bob? I mean, it may sound like a dumb, naive question, but well, a fighter has to, you know, work out and keep himself in shape. How do you keep in shape? And who can you play that's going to give you any kind of competition to keep you sharp?
Well, there are literally hundreds of magazines coming out every month around the world, and books by the dozen coming out. So there's a tremendous amount of literature to study. I can study all the games Spassky has played, or since the match, if he has played, or whoever.
Right.
And that's how I keep up. I really don't play too much. Because if I play somebody, I'm just giving away my tricks. You know.
Right.
I only like to play, you know, when I'm...
The names of the defenses, I got a little... Are those names of certain opening moves named after people who invented them?
Some of them are named after people, some after cities.
Have they named any particular gambits after...
Well, yeah. See, I've come along pretty late in chess. Chess has been played hundreds of years, so there isn't really that much left that's radically new. But they've named a few lines that used to have old names after me now, like there's one variation called the poison pawn variation.
Right.
And they call that the Fisher variation. I keep taking this supposedly dangerous pawn to take. I'm known as a pawn grabber in chess.
Now, what about the cameras over there, Bob? Now, you hear all this about you would agree that they could film this, and then you kept changing that the cameraman must be in Vladivostok someplace, or... was that, what was the real story?
I was more disappointed than anybody that this thing wasn't televised. Because, you know, a lot of publicity, and there was a lot of money involved, and I wanted the people to see me in action, let's face it. You know? But they had these characters there who, instead of having some kind of videotape films that didn't make any noise, with just nobody around to operate them, just sort of stationless, and they just had guys there with film cameras that were worrying, and they were all around me, just making a racket, a nuisance.
Too much noise.
Too much noise, and visually you could see them moving around. And...
Are there ways you can distract an opponent in chess? I mean, by just little things? Now, there must be certain, making moves very quickly, or...
I don't use any of them, of course, but there are these tricks.
Well, I mean, just we could talk about it, Bob. I'm not saying you use them. I just say, what are some of the little things?
Well, blowing smoke in his face if he's not a smoker, this kind of thing.
That's... Now, you usually, practically every match, according to the reports here anyway, Spasski would be there on time, and you would come in 12, maybe 15, 20 minutes late, which you have a right to do before you make your move. Isn't that a little bit of a psyching maneuver?
Well, I didn't do it on purpose. I mean,
you didn't do it on purpose?
I go to bed very late. I go to bed 5, 6 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I was usually getting up about half an hour before game time. So I come a little late sometimes.
So that wasn't any kind of a little...
No.
Just slept late. Sure, Bob. You say so, Bob. Let me take a break here and we'll talk some more. Stay right with us and we're going to come back and talk about it. We're talking with Bobby Fischer. Have you been besieged with business offers and endorsements? I'm sure you must have since you come back. What are some of the ones you can talk about that are kind of strange?
Well, strange? Nothing too strange.
Right.
You know, just these letters from
I heard that you're going to
girls.
put out a chess course. Do you get letters? Well, yeah, of course you get a lot of letters, I suppose, from young ladies because you're unmarried.
Yeah.
What do they...
Well, most of them are, you know, just encouragement, but some of them, you know, they go a little far.
No comment. But I read somewhere that you're going to put out that may be premature, and maybe you don't even want me to mention this, a chess instruction course? Is there any
I might
truth?
put out a record, but I'm not certain. I mean, they want it out by the Christmas market. I don't know if I can hustle it out that fast.
Can anyone learn to play chess?
Anyone can. It's really easy, sure.
I'm going to have to learn. Somebody told me you were very good at puzzles. Was that?
Yeah, well, that's how I got interested in chess, because I was playing all the other games, and they just were too easy. So I...
And somebody
like
told me there was
puzzles.
one puzzle that they were going to try to get. Did they get it? And what was the name of it?
They got it.
You mentioned it.
15 puzzle.
In the back, it's right there.
This thing here.
No, I'm not familiar with this.
Yeah.
What is this?
Well, you try and get them all aligned, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
There are
6,
little
7,
squares in there, and there's
9,
one
10,
empty
11, 12,
square?
13, 14, 15.
And you try to get them...
Yeah.
Well, is that difficult?
No, it's very easy. I'm the fastest in the world at this. I don't like to boast, but...
Well, we'll see about that, Bob.
because I used to do this.
I'm pretty good at puzzles myself, you know. They're all mixed up now.
Yeah. Well, they're not too well mixed up. Well, 1 and 2 are close.
2, 7, 4, 8, 1,
it's
6,
kinda
3,
like
12,
cheating.
11, 15.
You want to mix it up a little better?
I used to go bananas with that one. How long does it take you to do it?
Well, this is not really a good, it's not all oiled up. It's not a real good set, so it might take me 30 seconds or so, but with a real good set, I can do about 20.
You don't like our set, huh, Bob? I suppose we won't be able to photograph now when we do this? I'm trying to mix... Okay, does that look mixed
Yeah,
up?
it's a little harder, yeah. Okay, ready?
Ready?
No, those are all mixed up.
All right, go.
All right. It needs to be oiled, this thing. That cost me. This was not very well mixed up. I want to say that. It wasn't well mixed up. Yeah.
17.
No.
Well, they didn't mix it up too well. It takes about 30 seconds.
You want to mix them up a little for me?
Be kind.
You see this?
Mix it up good, Bob, and make it difficult. I got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right to 15, like you did there.
Okay, I think that's pretty good. I don't want too hard.
You want to do a commercial first and get it out of the way?
Don't let him psych you out, John.
Okay, let's
Ready?
see now. I've got to get this 1 clear over to here, and this 2 over there. Well, you put the 1, Bob. I didn't have your 1 down there.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Go. You got 3 seconds to nail them.
Okay, I got the 1 up there. I was kidding. I used to do this myself, Bob. I'm just holding off on you. There you are. Okay, let's go ahead now. Did you get a shot of that, Bob? Righto, for our home audience. As for our home viewers, all in order, right. I could be here till tomorrow at this time and could not get those things. That is incredible. Well, you see, you have to know how to do
3
things.
hours a day for about 7 years, you should do it like that.
That is incredible. That is incredible. What's your average day like? What do you do when you're not playing chess? What do you like to do? I know you at least the articles I've read on you, one they had in Life, says you watch a lot of television, you do a lot of reading.
Yeah, I like to study some chess and listen to a little rock and roll in the background. Very leisurely, I don't like...
Now, how can you
pressure
study
myself.
chess and listen to rock and roll in the background, Bob? I thought you couldn't have that distraction there.
Oh, well, that's when I play, serious chess, but
Yeah.
when I study, it gets a little boring playing all these people's games. They're really not that good, their games, most of them, so... I need a little music to pep me up, keep me interested.
Yeah. So you study chess mainly during the day?
Yeah.
Have you considered, I don't want to ask you something personal, but have you considered marriage at all, or do you think that would interfere with being a good chess player?
No,
Well, I mean, it might break your concentration. I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, I'm considering marriage now. I mean, it'll hurt my game a little bit, but I feel I'm so much better, and now I'm at the top.
Yeah.
I can afford to let up a little bit, just a little bit.
You are the best chess player in the world, without a doubt, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's great. I think that's great when you come out and say that. Yeah, that you have to have... What drove you? What really drove you? Was it because you felt that the Russians were kind of playing games for a while and wouldn't let the championship out of their country?
Well, at first, just the love of the game as a boy, just,
Right.
Loving to win and all, but as I had all these troubles with the Russians, and they tried to block me from playing them for a title match and all this, and they kept writing that I wasn't that good. I wasn't even in the top 10. They said I wasn't. I was just a big talker. I had, I just got publicity because of antics and all this.
Right.
And really, over the board, there was no comparison between me and the Russians.
So you had to go
And,
prove it, huh?
This is really what kept me on. If they had just shut up and ignored me and, or said he's a very fine player, I might not have gone for the title, because it didn't matter to me that much. I knew I was the best.
Right.
But they kept saying this all the time. They're putting me down. They got me mad.
They sure did. Now, you're at the top of your form now. Can you get better as you
think
get
so.
older?
I think it's a question of physical stamina, really. If I keep myself in good physical shape, I think I could be champion.
That's what a lot of people don't understand. That's interesting. You'd think that you would not have physically to be in such great shape to sit at a board.
Well, you're sitting there for 5 hours, and if your concentration just slips up for a split second, and you make the wrong move, that's the game.
It's interesting. We will take a break here from one of our sponsors, and we'll be back with Dom DeLuise, Jose Feliciano.